Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my Ultimate Decades Challenge. Before we proceed, please don't forget to subscribe, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So recently I started Ultimate Decades Challenge over on my Twitch. I made a save of the original world in order to be able to film it for YouTube eventually, so here I am. So the challenge itself, it's happening over on my Twitch account and I will link it down below. I'm already quite ahead of this version of the world. But I thought I would still share, and on top of that, starting today, I will be editing out year by year and posting them to my YouTube account. It will be maybe short, maybe long videos just showing you the update and where I'm going with it. Just please keep in mind that the first 2 years were very difficult for me because I was trying to get into the vibe of the challenge and keeping track of everything. So in case you don't know the challenge, I'm using Morbid's rules and Excel sheets, spreadsheets, and the challenge is extremely hands-on. You have to constantly keep track of everything. Every single day there's something to do. Plus it's connected to history, so we try to achieve historical accuracy, and there are some historical events that will be happening, like wars, where you would have to roll to see who goes to war, who doesn't. For example, you have to roll every time a child gets born, for the mother and for the child, because the survival rates in 1300 were not same as today, and people didn't live as long as now. So before I show you around, first I have to note that I play this challenge without any modes and without any CC. So the only thing I have is a couple of DLCs installed. Why I don't use mods or CC is because I play on console. So this was a little bit difficult to set up, and still is quite difficult to do because I cannot just kill sims randomly. I have to use cow plants that I get from the gallery. I cannot get rid of children easily, so it's the whole thing. Like, I have to delete sims in order to not have random sims stuck in the game, taking game's memory space per se. So here's an example of my timeline. I already moved on with the gameplay, as I said, but it's pretty cool because you can see whose birthday is it every day, and you get to roll. I also put in notes currently who is giving birth when, and I also highlighted some periods in time where there will be something happening, for example the wars. Another fun part is the sims info chart, where you can put all the details about your sims. If they're alive, if they died, what year they were born or died, and you can also make up cause of death. In this way you get to keep track of what is happening. Now let me introduce you to the families that are my starting families. So by challenge rules I have to have 3 different families, and I need to have 1 main family and 2 side families. So I play in Willow Creek because I do not have Get Together, I think. Whatever pack it is that's supposed to have Winterburg, I guess the name. I cannot play in that world. It would be perfect for 1300s, of course. But since I don't have it, I decided to do it in Willow Creek because it is quite nice, and some houses could be considered to be off time, even though it's more Victorian in my opinion. At least what I consider to be Victorian in my brain currently, but I guess I'll learn in this challenge. And here's the lot that I've built. It is up on my gallery, and my gallery will be linked in the description down below. So this is our main house. It's one of the 2 biggest lots in Willow Creek. One is the park and another one is residential, so I used that. It has plenty of fishing spots, and I set up everything here. It's very different now. If you open my Twitch streams, you'll see that this has been modified. But here we have the entrance, and we enter kind of in the dining area. Then we have the fireplace and the little kitchen area. Then here we have 1 bedroom, because I didn't know how many sims will be born here, how much you need to extend the house. This is all going to happen basically later. Here we have a small bathroom and then an empty room for children. Another room that we have, which you can access from outside if you go up, is right here. It's currently empty, but I'm planning to use it probably for more bed space. Then we have a little kind of like side barn. There's mailbox because I forgot to put it originally. It's not gonna be there eventually. But in this kind of barn, which is not a barn, there is a bar, and there is a handiness skill unit, and a guitar and a violin, and then it has kind of those barrels outside it. It also has potential for second floor. I am not sure at this stage if I will be putting a stair to go up or not. Then outside we have the chessboard, we have this little table here, and we have all this gardening equipment, which is not organized in any way, and I will eventually go for it, like really go for it. I just wasn't sure how gardening worked in the challenge, and I still don't have like a vivid idea about how to do it. Then we have additional two units here. One is sauna, this one, and another one is the toilet, and it looks something like this, just simple rooms, one with the sauna and one with the toilet. It's a handiness level 10 toilet. I know it's not exactly right to the period, but I don't have anything right to the period. Actually, I would love to get maybe Realm of Magic, because I would be able to get more things. Also, the challenge doesn't really state anything about magic sims or aliens, but I've decided I will just go for it. If it happens, it might have happened. We don't know for sure about those things, so I might use it in the game anyway, since it's a possibility in game. So now to the characters. So it all starts with Gen 0, which are parents of my current heirs. This is Benedict Greenwood. He is the starter Gen 0 dad of 3 children, and the 3 children is the first generation. So there's one main child that I've chosen myself. He's not the oldest, instead he's the youngest of all the 3 siblings. But anyway, Benedict is not gonna live for long. Actually, we will not see him at all in the challenge, because, spoiler alert, he's gonna die on the first second of me playing the game. Also, he is actually one of my sims that I've used in my Off the Grid challenge over on Twitch. And his wife as well. Here she is. So her name is Matilda Greenwood. She is a new sim, but actually not, because in my Off the Grid challenge it was a gay couple. It was Dawson and Brett, I think. So I remade them for this challenge, kind of. Just changed some things in CAS. And now we have Benedict and Matilda. We won't see Matilda as well in my challenge, because she's gonna die also on the first second of it. But they are the Gen 0, so it doesn't really matter. I just hope they would stay to help with the children and potentially with gaining some money for the main house. Now, the tree itself looks something like this. We have Benedict Greenwood, Matilda Greenwood, and then we have their 3 children. Just to give you a perspective of the age of the Sims in real human life, Benedict would be 37 years old and Matilda is 35. Then their children, we have Reginald Greenwood, who is the eldest son. He is 19 years old, and then it's his wife Isabella Greenwood. So then we have the second son, which is Adam, and Adam is the youngest of 2 sons, but he is an heir. That's how I decided. Adam is actually married to Eva Greenwood, and Eva is from my Forest Legacy challenge. Her actual name in the challenge is Violet, but I read that the flower names were popular much later, not in 1300, so I changed her name to Eva. And then when I had all my sims, like all 8 sims in front of me, I realized that I had an Adam and Eva, so I decided that they for sure will be a couple. So they're my heirs currently, as we speak, before the first episode. Then we have Eleanor, and Eleanor is 17 years old as the beginning of this challenge. By the way, I forgot to say that Reginald is 19 years old, Adam is 17, Adam is 16 years old, and Eleanor is 17 years old. And she got married last year, that's how I put the timelines, to Henry Lumberjackson. Eleanor was born during Off the Grid challenge that I did, and she ended up being a toddler there, so I aged her up, and here she is back in the series. Henry Lumberjackson is actually a very interesting sim. So we actually have this sim in everyone's library. His name is Kurt Lumberjackson. Kurt is actually a good name. I don't know why I changed it. He is here. He's made by Maxis. It actually in his bio says that he comes from an impressive lineage of lumberjacks. While forestry is in his blood, his real passion lies in apiculture or beekeeping. So he is one of the sims kind of to play in Granite Falls, but we reused him and I made a 1300s version of him. and I will put all the sims in the gallery when this video comes out, and the lots if somebody is interested, but in my opinion it needs a little bit more time. So of course, as I speak now, I already know about the future of many of those families and the Gen 2 children, for example, but for now, as the beginning of the challenge on the YouTube, I only have, let's say, 8 sims. I also signed up on ancestry.com and made the private tree there, so I will not be able to share it or make it viewable by anyone, but I am able to show you how the family tree looks like at this stage. You will see there are a lot of changes, like kind of spoilers for future, but I mean, don't pay too much attention. So you see that some portraits are black and white and some portraits are colored. The black and white ones are sims that has passed away, and the colored ones are the sims that are still alive. The way I set up the whole thing is because I cannot use mods, I cannot turn on teen marriages and pregnancies. So I kind of skip teenaging completely in the challenge. Maybe I have teens for a couple of days, for like 3 days, and then I age them up to young adults, but I pretend they're still teens as young adults, if it makes sense. So they, starting 16, they can get married and pregnant. So here are the 3 families. So we have the Greenwood main household, we have Greenwood side household, and Lumberjackson, which is also a side household. We'll see how it will go and which child will end up being the heir for the second gen for the main household. But we will have much more houses very soon, much more families. We will also have different nationalities joining in. For now, they all considered to be British. Another thing that I did, which is all the other households, instead of deleting everyone and then editing every single NPC that the game creates randomly, I went ahead. First of all, I added myself, Jungle Rodion, and I made 1300th version of me. But then I also edited every single household, like pre-existing ones, from Strangerville, Oasis Springs, and Willow Creek. That's the only worlds I currently have anyway, well, plus Magnolia Promenade and Newcrest. But from Strangerville we have the Rossville family, we have Eclectic Arts, Cahill, Sigworth, and I think that's it. Then we have 2 needed NPCs. We have the Moyer, who is very annoying usually, but I was very happy to edit her. Of course, she shows up for everything. I did already weddings and invited the Carter. It was her, for example. So it's a constant thing in the game that they use. I think her name is Alex Moyer. I also changed Father Winter, of course. He was sort of non-existent until a little bit later on in history. I checked the Wikipedia page for Christmas. Then we have a mixture here, so there are Landgrabs, Pancakes, Calientes, Roomies, Spencer Kim Lewis, BFFs, and Goth. I will be uploading all of those families as well, in case you want the classic NPCs or classic families from Sims for your challenge if you do it. Even if you do it by yourself and you don't film, I think it's a good starting point for you. Actually, I really liked how my Landgrabs came out. I used cheats to put Johnny Zest back as in the family tree. So now he is officially a child of Nancy and Joffrey. And I really wanted, for a second, I thought, don't use my own created family, but use Landgrabs for Ultimate Decades Challenge, because they would only miss maybe a third brother that I could create, so I would have 2 side households and 1 main household. And this would be fun, so I might keep it as an idea for future, because I mean, Landgrabs is one of the oldest families in the Sims franchise. Even in medieval there was Landgrabs already, so it would be a cool idea. If somebody wants to jump on it, also fine for me, but me personally, I think it would make a lot of sense to use Landgrabs or Goth as well to do the challenge, because they do have their own aesthetic. They're very interesting, big story in the Sims only franchise. Yes, those are some ideas I'm dropping out there. Then for the rest of the lots, I'm gonna just skip them. It's basically one lot that I've built, which is my classic lot for 30 by 20, which I will be using for different things. So I have 2 side households looking like that, and I have a tavern. Then I just modify them based on the family needs, so it makes sense. Also, side households are not restricted with money, while main household is, and I can only use money that they make in the main household in order to make them comfortable, let's say. Well, I think I've covered everything for now. There will be a special playlist for this, which this video will be starting point of. There will be kind of rough editings of different years. If you're interested to follow this challenge, I highly suggest you to add the playlist into your menu so you can watch it there when the new videos come out. On another hand, if you wish to just join me on the live streams, I will link my Twitch down below so you can do so as well. And this will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you like the challenge as well, because I love watching those videos on YouTube, and I think it's a very busy challenge, but it's also well made and well structured. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to click like, subscribe and leave a comment, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye!